The Bible had been there for longer than most people could remember. Every Sunday, church members walked past it. Children grew up seeing it. Pastors preached from it. Families prayed beside it. The worn leather cover showed decades of use. Inside were handwritten notes, old prayer requests, and signatures from people who were no longer alive. It wasn't just a Bible. It was part of the church's history. And then, one Sunday in 1999, it vanished. At first, nobody panicked. Someone probably moved it. At least, that's what everyone thought. But by the end of the week, it still hadn't been found. And that was when people started asking a question nobody could answer. Who would steal a church Bible? What nobody knew was that they wouldn't get an answer for 27 years. The search began immediately. Volunteers checked classrooms, storage closets, basement rooms, the church office, every shelf, every cabinet, every locked room. Nothing. The Bible had simply disappeared. There were no witnesses, no security cameras, no clues. Some believed it had been taken accidentally, others weren't so sure. Weeks passed, then months, then years, and slowly, the search ended. But the mystery didn't, because every few months someone would ask, did they ever find the Bible? And every time, the answer was still no. Then the years started turning into decades, and the mystery became something much bigger. Children who heard the story grew up. Some moved away. Some started families of their own. New members joined the church. Many had never even seen the missing Bible, yet somehow, everyone knew the story. The missing Bible, it became church history, not because of its value, but because nobody could explain what happened. And the longer it stayed missing, the less likely it seemed anyone would ever know. Eventually, people accepted a simple truth. The Bible was gone forever. Or so they thought. Then one ordinary morning, something impossible happened. It arrived without warning. A plain cardboard box. No return address, no explanation, just the church's name. The secretary placed it on a desk. Nobody paid much attention. Packages arrived all the time. But when the pastor opened it, everything changed. Inside was an old Bible. The room went silent because everyone recognized it immediately. The worn binding, the faded cover, the handwritten notes. After 27 years, the missing Bible had returned. But the biggest surprise wasn't the Bible. It was what they found inside. Tucked between two pages was a letter. And the first sentence changed everything. The pastor unfolded the note. Everyone leaned closer. The first line read, I am the person who took this Bible. 27 years, one sentence. And suddenly, the mystery had an answer. But as they continued reading, the story became even more surprising. The writer explained that he had been 16 years old, angry, confused, lost. And one Sunday, he made a decision that would follow him for decades. He took the Bible, not because he wanted it, not because it was valuable, but because he was angry at everything faith represented. Yet what happened next was something he never expected. For years, the Bible sat hidden. Then one day, he opened it, just once, out of curiosity. He read a few pages. Days later, he read more, then more. The very thing he had stolen in anger became the thing he couldn't stop reading. The Bible he had taken became part of his journey back to faith. Page by page, prayer by prayer, year after year, his life began to change. But one problem remained. The Bible wasn't his. And every time he looked at it, he remembered what he had done. Eventually, the guilt became impossible to ignore. The letter described years of regret. The writer explained that he wanted to return the Bible many times, but shame stopped him. What would people think? Would they forgive him? Would they even believe him? Finally, after nearly 3 decades, he decided it was time. No excuses, no explanations, just honesty. He packed the Bible carefully, placed the letter inside, and sent it home. The church never discovered his name, and perhaps that was the point. The story was never really about a missing Bible. It was about redemption, about second chances, about mistakes that don't have to define a life forever. The mystery had lasted 27 years, but in the end, the answer wasn't anger, it wasn't greed, it wasn't theft. It was a story of someone finding his way back to faith, back to truth, and finally, back home. Because sometimes the most powerful mysteries aren't about what was lost, they're about what returns, and after 27 years, this Bible finally did.